right, good afternoon, hello there, happy Tuesday. Yes, Elaine Proby here, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, with our regular Tuesday and Thursday conversation. Okay, so welcome back, top of the week here. And today we are going to talk about 3 ways to create a healthy work environment, guys. So we constantly have this conversation on a weekly basis, and it's all about keeping us motivated, keeping us going, keeping our business thriving, which is what we want to do for sure. We want to make sure that happens. And of course, we want to talk about different things to make that happen, right? And so today we want to talk about 3 ways to create a healthy work environment. So we're going to jump right into this. Hi, Anya, love this. Thanks for jumping in. All right. So, hello, Mom T. I love it. All right, guys. So hit like and share on this video, and let's jump right into this. Hit like and share. 3 ways to create a healthy work environment. We want to make sure that our workspace is just very conducive to our employees, so everyone is having a good time and getting the work done, guys. You have to create a positive work environment. You have to create a positive work environment, or else, everyone will, people won't be as productive, right? You want to keep up the productivity, keep up the morale, and the better that is, the better off you will be. And then you will get what you want out of their push, because the work is going to get done, right? This work is going to get, people be happy doing what they got to do. So let's jump right into this. And we want to talk about the first point today, guys. We want to start off with communication. Communication, like they say, communication is the key, and it sure is the key for everything in our personal lives, and definitely in our business lives and our work environment. Communication is the key. So you have to be able to create a healthy work environment. You have to have what we call sometimes an open door policy. You have to have great communication, right? The employees have to be able to communicate with, say, a supervisor, personnel at all times, management at all times. You have to have the door open if there's any conflict or anything any concerns, any ideas, whatever it might be. They have to be able to come in and communicate with you and talk to someone that is going to listen, right? And take care of whatever that might be. So if you don't have an open door policy and communication is horrible in the work environment, I can tell you right now that it is one of the worst things to have. It's not healthy, and you won't get any productivity, and it's just the worst thing to have, right? So just as simple as communicating in our personal lives, with our peers, with our family, with our friends, is the same thing in the work environment. Employees have to be able to share their ideas, and they want to be able to talk to other employees as well. They have a better camaraderie going on between themselves, and therefore you have much more productivity out of everybody. Okay, so biggest thing, make sure that you can communicate, and again, like I said, just encourage them to come in, right? Because if the employees feel like it's okay to come and have a conversation with, say, personnel, with management or a supervisor, if they feel that they're comfortable enough to be able to do this, I guarantee you that it would be no problem. And everyone has the right to come in and say what they want if something is going on. Okay, so big deal. We have to do this, okay? And so I want you guys to make a note of this, and whatever you do, make sure that you have great communication in the workplace, right? First point today. So we're talking about 3 ways to create a healthy work environment. Cognac Boss Lena, hello, Mom. Thanks for jumping in here. All right. I don't know where my chair is going down. Okay, thanks for jumping in here, guys. Let's move right on. Rod Smith, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. So the second point today, building trust. Super important, very serious. Got to build trust in the workspace, because without trust, then everything falls apart, right? It's one of the biggest things. Sometimes it's hard to build trust, but then you have to try to do it because it's so important. And everything will fall apart if there is no trust factor there, okay? To earn trust, you have to respect the people you work with. You have to respect your employees. You have to respect each other, right? And then again, back to the word communication. Because the more you communicate, the more trust is built, right? The more you can trust each other, because the communication is easy, it's simple, it's open, it's honest, right? So once you're able to do that, you can build trust, right? You can build trust. So you have to implement a trust building factor in place to make sure that people are honest and they're upfront and they speak what's on their mind, And therefore, it's easy for you to take care of problems because, of course, you know what the story is. It comes to you and you can trust each other and you can get along and you can work and be more productive. Very important, guys. You can't get along. You can't do anything without those two things, communication and trust, right? Communication and trust. And we say this all day long, all the time. So this is what we want to make sure happens in here. Say, Laverne Smith, thanks for jumping in here. How are you? All right, Cognac says, I love it. All right, so we're talking about 3 ways to create a healthy work environment, guys. Hit like and share on this video. We want to make sure that once you get the business started, of course, it's not just for you to be able to operate successfully and for you to really get where you want to go. This is what you have to have once you have employees. These things are very important to stay in place. And if you don't have it in place, you got to make sure you work on it. All right. So the first one was communication. Now we talk about trust. And let's move on to our third point today. 3 ways to create a healthy work environment. Third point. This is super important. Creating a health and wellness program, right? Health and wellness program. Now, when I talk about health and wellness, a lot of times we speak of that healthy because we know maybe we're having a fitness program that we, our routine that we do. But then when we talk about wellness, we want to make sure that wellness goes on to like the mind and the body and the spirit, where, you know, you can stress relief, things like that. You have things in place where you can stress relief, even if you just have everybody get up for 10 minutes and just walk around or do something, you know, just go for a walk and, you know, outside or whatever that might be. If you're inside of a room or an office, just doing something like that helps, right? So it's a lot of stuff that releases stress. So one of the other major things that a lot of corporation is doing these days is having people work remotely. That's relieve a lot of stress because some people has to do a long distance traveling, getting to work, you know, traffic and all that stuff. When people feel that they can still be productive and they can work remotely, again, that is building a healthy work environment because they're not having to deal with the daily stress of getting to that location on a regular basis. Maybe it's mandatory you come in from time to time, but not all the time. That is one way that you can create a very healthy work environment, guys. So there's so many things that you can put in place, virtual meetings at times, you know, especially mandatory meetings, different things like this really, really, really help. And I really like the idea when people were asked to, you know, when companies had like game night, when they had teams that they put together, when there's like a bowling team, when there was like a softball team. Remember those days when the companies were putting these teams together? It's because they want to create a very healthy work environment where they put health and wellness program in place, right? Health and wellness program in place. And that's when, I mean, I used to remember those days. I used to love those days when different companies was competing, or there was a night when we was going out playing ball or, you know, bowling, whatever that might be. This is some of the recreation and some of the stuff that you put in place in order for you to create a healthy work environment. Okay, so guys, these are some simple practices, but again, it's so easy to get caught up in the daily routine of running the business operation and daily routine of getting the work out and the stress of having to make sure you meet these deadlines. And by us doing this, we always tend to forget some of the most important things, simple things. And some of this stuff can only take a few minutes per day, right? So again, we're talking about 3 ways to create a healthy work environment. Lerner Smith, thank you for jumping on here. Always love your hearts. All right, so that's the third point, guys. We want to make sure that we do that. We have to stay on top of all this stuff. There's got to be a strategic plan in place to make sure that you keep the environment healthy for the employees in order for you to maintain productivity, for the business to thrive, for you to succeed, being able to be productive, and for it to be efficient, because without having efficiency within the business operation, you lose your customers, you lose your clients, and it just doesn't work for anybody, right? So make sure that you work extremely hard to create that. Let me go back and recap that. You know, I just got a notification. Don't forget, in terms of that whole health and wellness part, guys, don't forget, like, you know, everyone, we have a thing in our office where if somebody just call water every day, we have to make sure that we drink enough water, you know, and I'm very guilty of not doing that on a regular basis. And it's ironic because every time we have a meeting, they ask us to come to the meeting with a water bottle. So Make sure we drink water. All right. So don't forget that you have to drink your water on a regular basis too. That's part of the health and wellness that I failed to mention, and that's one of the most important thing here. Okay. So let's go back and recap 3 ways to create a very healthy work environment. And the first one is communication. It's the key. Have an open door policy. Have your employees able to speak to someone, a supervisor, make sure they're able to speak to anyone that's in charge. Make sure that they are able to bring their concerns. If they have a wonderful idea, you might, open the door, listen to it. It might work better than something else that you got going on. Okay. So they will be able to communicate with each other just as well. The camaraderie is going to be great. And that way you will have more productivity coming out of your business. Okay. Have to do that. Number 1. 2. Number 2 is building trust. You got to build trust. And by communicating a lot, you build trust. And you have to build trust, you have to respect each other, right? The minute you respect each other, you're honest, you communicate well, you're upfront, right? And so you can trust each other. So this is what happens. Without trust, guys, everything falls apart. Right? Everything falls apart. Nothing works well if there is no trust. Again, communication and trust can go hand in hand. All right. So that's the second point today. You can't resolve any conflict or anything like that if there is not enough trust in the employees amongst the people that work for you. So we have to have trust. Third point, the health and wellness program. You got to have that. Put that in place. If it means that 2 or 3 times a day, or maybe even once a day, everyone gets up, take a walk, do something, stretch. Some programs, some corporation have areas where you could go, maybe get a massage or whatever it is, right? A break room, rec room. Go out and get some fresh air. That works. And then, of course, I love the days when there was these teams and everybody competes and the company has a team and they have these, or they have picnics, whatever that is, have these outings. And guys, again, make sure that you exercise and drink a lot of water so that you can maintain your health, because without it, productivity goes down, guys. It doesn't work for anybody personally and or the business. Okay. So those are my 3 ways to create a healthy work environment in your business. Make sure that you have all that stuff in place and to make sure it's easy access to all those 3 points that I just made. Okay. So that's it. So let me move on to a Thursday. This Thursday is going to be really, really, really hot because we are going to have a session at 1 p.m. And that session is going to talk about, what is that? On December the 15th, the discover things to keep you, things that you keep in mind before starting a business. Oh, I don't know, I missed that. Things to keep in mind before starting a business. And why this Thursday is super important, because at 1 o'clock, we're going to talk about the things to keep in mind before you start a business. And then at 6 o'clock is the free webinar. And that's where I'm going to tell you how to get the business started. So this Thursday is going to be super good. Things to keep in mind before we start a business. And we're going to talk about 3 points, 3 simple points. These are stuff that you're like, okay, I want to start a business. Let me keep these things in mind before I get started. And then you will learn how to get the business started at 6 p.m. So this is exciting for this Thursday coming up, guys. So if you haven't signed up yet for the free webinar, go to elainesdesk.com and sign up for the free webinar at 6 p.m. Don't forget, the free webinar is at 6 p.m. I'll show you everything you need to know about how to get the business started. When you're done with that, you'll be ready to go. So top of 2023, your business will be up and running. No more, what am I going to do? Okay, no more of that. We're going to throw that out the window. Remember, we talk about the word can't. We're going to throw that all out the window. And after this webinar, you'll be able to get your business started. You know exactly what you need to do, because I'm going to make sure that you do before we leave there. All right. So mark your calendar, guys. Stay in tune. Hit like and share on this video. And make sure that you guys signed up for the webinar at elainesdesk.com. If you have any further questions for me, you can give us a call at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting at 323-290-9034, or visit our website at probystax.com. You could sign up for a 50-minute free consultation there. And or if you need any other services done, we have a lot of qualified personnel at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting can assist you with it. All right. So with that said, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. So join us here every Tuesday and Thursday. I just love this advertisement. All right. So thanks, Cognac. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So you guys, I will see you guys back here on Thursday, right? Thursday at 1, and then we'll be back at 6. You have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. You guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. Thanks. Bye-bye.